Bah. Well, hello. Ba, ba. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Bah. Can you hear me? Hello. Microphone test. 1, 2. I see so many people like joining and like scrolling on by. That's okay. But I would appreciate if somebody, because there are some people watching right now, if you would let me know if you can hear me. RT60, hello. Can you hear me, RT60? Awesome. And is there an echo? Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking that time to let me know. How's everybody doing? Awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Shannon, awesome. Terry Dingle. Ooh, pizza sounds really good. I could not help myself on Sunday, and I think I had 2 pizzas. I had an artisan pizza uh, for lunch, and then had a Domino's pizza for dinner. Yes, I do have a fursuit, and if you're interested in seeing my fursuit lives, those are Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays after this. Ooh, Papa John's. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. So this particular segment here is called Story Time with Phaze. And so here in a little bit, oh, that got loud, some intense guitar. Alexa, volume down 1. But what this is called Story Time with Phaze, and so this is only on Tuesdays and Fridays. We take about an hour and a half and we go through some stories, and I do dramatic readings. Oh, that's really cool, RT60. What kind of fursuit did you get? I'm only asking because I can't really see your icon. But this is called Storytime with Phaze. So here in just a little bit, we're going to start some stories. I'm going to be reading through a few stories on the Brothers Grimm. And then this Friday, I'm hoping we'll do a live playthrough on a visual novel or a story adventure game together. And I'll be relying on you, the audience, to assist in making choices as we go through. Non-specific a dog. Oh, okay. Meow meow. Ba, ba, ba. Like I said, we'll start here in just a little bit. Ah, welcome, Lex. This is an interesting song. I don't know if you can hear the music in the background. Welcome, Kane. Welcome, Shannon. Welcome, Chris. Welcome, Super Crazy Logan. Welcome, So 92E. How's everybody doing today? Awesome. That's great to hear, Shannon. Wah, 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 wah. Anybody doing anything exciting today? Ah, name's actually Caitlin. Okay. Welcome, Josh. Welcome, Kai. Aw, thank you, Shannon. I appreciate that. Well, like I said, here in just a little bit, we'll start story time. But right now, we're just kind of letting people come and log on and say hi to people. Aw, thank you. It's annoying for the follow. Appreciate it. Boom, 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 chicka, ba, wah, wah, wah. Hello, Crazy Pigeon. Welcome. Doing anything fun? Oh, that's awesome. Welcome, Shannon. Or Kaylin. Sorry. I caught myself. No, Eric, you're not late. I haven't actually started yet. I'm kind of just letting people trickle in and chit chat with people at the moment before we get started. So you're on time. Oh, that's pretty cool, Crazy Pigeon. I've never been on a cruise. What? Oh, Kaylin, what is this? So this is a story time with Phaze. It's a show that I do twice a week. On Tuesdays, I try to do a reading, read some stories with you. On Fridays, what I try and do is we're going to actually try and test it this Friday for the first time. Is we're going to do a what are they called? Oh gosh, my brain just took a dump. We're going to do a story adventure game or a visual novel game together. And you, as the audience, are going to help me make the decisions as we go through the gameplay. But that's generally what this is. Right now, we're just kind of letting people trickle in, and I'm just trying to jib-jab a little bit with you guys before we get started on telling stories, because once I start reading the stories, I'm not going to be able to pay attention to the chat very well. And then after I'm done, we'll do a little bit chit-chat at the end as well. I'll jibber-jabber with you guys in the chat for a bit. Yeah, I think it's fun. Links, welcome Links. Welcome back, RT60. Wah. Wah, 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 wah. Eric, I am doing really well. It's been kind of a Monday feeling today, though. That's the only thing that's kind of a... bleh about today. But otherwise, it's going really well. How about you? How's your day? Yeah, well, I mean, no, it's not Wednesday yet, you silly goof. Not even in the UK. It's not even a Wednesday. It's like a Tuesday night for you right now. Aw, Uno, thank you. Welcome, Uno. Bark, 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 bark. Oh, wait, why'd I go bark? I'm a cat. Meow, meow. You're driving home already? That's awesome. You better drive safe. 3 hours off? Yeah, because you're only like 7 hours ahead of me. But here, a few more minutes, and then we'll get started with some stories. Ooh, big stride and yawn. Blah. Welcome, Ant. Uno, so you're going to drive home and listen to this silly cats show. The story today we're going to start off with is going to be the Frog King, or Iron Henry. That is the story we're going to start with. We're going to see how long that goes, and if you guys are interested in doing a second story today, then we might do a second story. And we'll pick that one as we go. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, no, the doggy is barking. Hey, what are you barking at? So many people are joining and then just like, and swiping away. Hey, sit. Thank you. I don't think dogs can talk. Yeah, it's fair. Bonjour, Alex. And welcome. Hey. Kira, stop. Welcome, Cone. Oh, has anybody got any questions? Guess he does that. Yeah. Before we get started, Brody Hepburn, welcome. Well, seeing as I don't know exactly, Uno, what's inside your kitchen, I would personally say popcorn sounds really tasty, but I'm biased because I love popcorn. Actually, you know what really sounds really good? I'm not going to lie, Uno's the one that inspired this, and I think about it off and on, is hummus. I have not had hummus in a while, and that does sound really good. Welcome back, Kaylin. I do. I'm not going to lie. It's one of the things I think about every time I see you, Uno. Every time I see you log on to my live, I think about hummus. I know that's really weird, but it's one of the first things that comes to mind. You have not yet missed anything, Kaylin. Don't worry. We're actually just getting ready to get started. Wow. I'm talking about hummus at the moment. Well, yeah. Hello, Sky High. Welcome. Bow wow. Bow wow. Bow wow. Bow wee. Gummy Goo, welcome. I am drinking a orange cream Coca-Cola Zero right now and a ton of water. But I have a Dr. Pepper set aside for the live later. So, listen. Before you even say anything, listen. I don't discriminate sodas except for Pepsi sometimes. Sometimes I discriminate against Pepsi. But it's really only the Pepsi original. I don't know why. They make tasty other Pepsis, but I don't really like the Pepsi. Welcome, trucker. All right. I think that's been enough time to let people join. Blah, blah, blah. Beep, beep, doo, doo. Blah, blah, blah. Oof, I did not press that button. Why did that do that? That's weird. Boo, boo, doo, boo, doo, boo, 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 doo. But, All right, you guys. Welcome to Storytime with Phaze. Today we're going to be doing another tale from the book of Household Tales by Brothers Grimm, written by Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm. The edition we're going through is translated by Margaret Hunt and narrated by, or not really narrated, but we're going through it together. So you guys know, when I'm going through the narration and I'm going through it, please bear with me. Some of these stories are written in an older English, and so they're not exactly straightforward sometimes, or the language is weird, or the sentence structure is weird. So just bear with me. You have to also remember that a lot of these stories were translated from German and other various languages. But we will do our best as we go through this. Now, this story is a little bit difficult. I had to kind of read it beforehand. It's got 4 main characters in it, but it does switch back and forth quite a bit as we go through the story. All right, without further ado, The Frog King, or Iron Henry. In old times, when wishing still... What is that, Kaylin? Oh. Alright, never mind. Ah! I'm going to ignore the chat. The Frog King, or Iron Henry. In old times, when wishing still helped one, there lived a king whose daughters were all beautiful. But the youngest was so beautiful that the sun itself, which has seen so much, was astonished whenever it shone in her face. Close by the king's castle lay a great dark forest, and under an old lime tree in the forest was a well. And when the day was very warm, the king's daughter went out into the forest and sat down by the side of the cool fountain. And when she was dull, she took a golden ball and threw it up on high and caught it, and this ball was her favorite plaything. Now it so happened that on one occasion the princess's golden ball did not fall into the little hand which she was holding up for it, but on the ground beyond, and rolled straight into the water. The king's daughter followed it with her eyes, but it vanished, and the well was deep, so deep that the bottom could not be seen. On this, she began to cry, and cried louder and louder, and could not be comforted. And as she thus lamented, someone said to her, "What ails thee, king's daughter? Thou weepest so that even a stone would show pity." She looked round the side from whence the voice came, and saw a frog stretching forth its thick, ugly head from the water. "Ah! Old water splasher, is it thou?" she said. "I am weeping for my golden ball, which has fallen into the well." "Be quiet, and do not weep," answered the frog. "I can help thee, but what wilt thou give me if I bring thy plaything up again?" "Whatever thou wilt have, dear frog," said she. "My clothes, my pearls, and jewels, and even the golden crown which I am wearing." The frog answered, "I do not care for thy clothes, thy pearls and jewels, or thy golden crown. But if thou wilt love me, and let me be thy companion and playfellow, and sit by thee at thy little table, and eat off thy little golden plate, and drink out of thy little cup, and sleep in thy little bed, if thou wilt promise me this, I will go down below and bring thee thy golden ball up again." "Oh, yes," she said. "I promise thee all thou wishest, if thou wilt but bring me back my ball again." She, however, thought, "How the silly frog does talk! He lives in the water with all the other frogs and croaks, and can be no companion to any human being." But the frog, when he had received this promise, put his head into the water and sank down, and in a short while came swimming up again with the ball in his mouth, and threw it on the grass. The king's daughter was delighted to see her pretty plaything once more, and picked it up and ran away with it. "Wait, wait," said the frog. "Take me with thee. I can't run as thou canst." But what did it avail him to scream his croak, croak, after her as loudly as he could? She did not listen to it, but ran home and soon forgot the poor frog, who was forced to go back into his well once again. The next day, when she had seated herself at the table with the king and all the courtiers, and was eating from her little golden plate, something came creeping, splish, splash, up the marble staircase. And when it had gone to the top, it knocked at the door and cried, "Princess, young princess, open the door for me." She ran to see who was outside, but when she opened the door, there sat the frog in front of it. Then she slammed the door to, in great haste, sat down to dinner again, and was quite frightened. The king saw plainly that her heart was beating violently, and said, "My dear child, what art thou so afraid of? Is there perchance a giant outside, who wants to carry thee away?" "Ah, no," she replied. "It is no giant, but a disgusting frog." "What does a frog want with thee?" "Ah, dear father, yesterday as I was in the forest sitting by the well, playing, my golden ball fell into the water, and because I cried so, the frog brought it out again for me. And because he's so insisted, I promised him he should be my companion. But I never thought he would able to come out of the water, and now he is outside, there, and wants to come in to me." In the meantime, it knocked a second time, and cried, "Princess, young princess, open the door for me. Dost thou not know what thou saidst to me yesterday by the cool waters of the fountain? Princess, youngest princess, open the door for me." Then said the king, "That which thou hast promised must thou perform. Go and let him in." She went and opened the door, and the frog hopped in and followed her, step by step, to her chair. There he sat and cried, "Lift me up beside thee." She delayed, until at last the king commanded her to do it. When the frog was once on the chair, he wanted to be on the table. And when he was on the table, he said, "Now, push thy little gold plate nearer to me, that we may eat together." She did this, but it was easy to see that she did not do it willingly. The frog enjoyed what he ate, but almost every mouthful she took choked her. At length he said, "I have eaten and am satisfied. Now I am tired. Carry me into thy little room and make thy little silken bed ready, and we will both lie down and go to sleep." The king's daughter began to cry, for she was afraid of the cold frog, which she did not like to touch, and which was now to sleep in her pretty clean little bed. But the king grew angry and said, "He who helped thee when thou wert in trouble ought not afterwards be despised of thee." So she took hold of the frog with 2 fingers, carried him upstairs, and put him in the corner. But when she was in bed, he crept to her and said, "I am tired. I want to sleep as well as thou. Lift me up, or I will tell thy father." Then she was terribly angry, and took him up and threw him with all her might against the wall. "Now thou wilt be quiet, odious frog," she said. But when he fell down, he was no frog, but a king's son with beautiful, kind eyes. He, by her father's will, was now her dear companion and husband. Then he told her how he had been bewitched by a wicked witch, and how no one could have delivered him from the well but herself, and that tomorrow they would go together into his kingdom. Then they went to sleep, and next morning, when the sun awoke them, a carriage came, driving up with 8 white horses, which had white ostrich feathers on their heads and were harnessed with golden chains, and behind stood the young king's servant, Faithful Henry. Faithful Henry had been so unhappy when his master was changed into a frog, that he had caused 3 iron bands to be laid around his heart, lest it should burst with grief and sadness. The carriage was to conduct the young king into his kingdom. Faithful Henry helped them both in, and placed himself behind again, and was full of joy because of this deliverance. And when they had driven a part of the way, the king's son heard a cracking behind him, as if something had broken. So he turned round and cried, "Henry, the carriage is breaking." "No, master, it is not the carriage. It is a band from my heart, which was put there in my great pain when you were a frog and imprisoned in the well." Again and once again, while they were on the way, something cracked, and each time the king's son thought the carriage was breaking, but it was only the bands which were springing from the heart of Faithful Henry, because his master was set free and was happy. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. There's a couple stumbles in there, some weird wordings, I'm not going to lie. Going to take a little break. I'll stay here and keep chatting with you guys, but I am going to take a small break from reading. We got plenty of time, so we could probably do another story or two. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Much appreciated. What did you guys think of that story, if you don't mind me asking? Runa, welcome. Aw, and thank you for the follow. Figured we'd try and pick a story that had some animals in it, you know. It's different, okay? Aw, thank you guys. I appreciate it. You're all very sweet. You could tell me the truth. It sucked. It's okay. I'm joking. Nah, you're funny. I appreciate you, Uno. Oh, gotta get some water. Blah. What do you think? Do you guys want to hear one more at least? Yeah. Welcome, Hayden. Well, the next one in the list is Cat and Mouse in Partnership. There's a lot of Brother Grimm tales, though. So if you don't know, what did you do to the mouse? I didn't do anything to the mouse. Although, I am hungry now. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. All right. We'll start on the next story here in just a couple minutes. Why is my mouth tracking? Oh, there it is. My mouth tracking suddenly stopped working for a second. I guess everything just kind of pizzed. Blah. Where? How's the drive, Uno? I love eating popcorn. Heck yeah. Wah, 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 wah. Oh. Wah, 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 wah. Almost home. Glad to hear it, Uno. I'm glad that it didn't take you like hours to get home this time. Aw, thank you, BQC, for sharing. Rawr. I'm trying to share this quickly with a couple people who apparently can't find the invite or can't find me on live, which I find funny, but I don't judge. It's his life. 'Tis life. Welcome, Gustav. Amos. Oh, don't you dare break on me! How dare you! A quick question for you guys. When did it ever get too loud? I feel like at the beginning when the Frog Prince was yelling out, there's a technique that I sometimes do in the booth when I'm doing yells. It helps make the sound a little bit further away, seeming. I wasn't doing that at the beginning. I kind of just like yelled a little bit towards the mic. And then I adjusted to use kind of a technique where you kind of take your fingers and you put them about a fist's length away from your mouth, and you kind of spread the fingers a little bit to allow sound to come through, but it dampens the tone and makes it sound like you're yelling into a distance or yelling away or yelling off to the distance, kind of a sound. Because I felt like just sitting here yelling out was a little bit too loud. Oh, you said the volume was fine? Okay. Well, I was a little nervous about that. I was like, man, I'm probably just like ruining people's eardrums at the moment by yelling. Okay. Sweet. All right. Oh, two people left. How dare they? Just kidding. Come, go, do what you wish. Do as you please. I'm doing this for fun, and I enjoy it. So, if I enjoy it over time, others will flock. They will join, and they too will enjoy. We should do something funny, fun during Halloween. Some Halloween tales. That's a ways away. I know that seems like it's really far away. But I'm one of those people that really plans my life out, I guess. Might be the way to call it. So it doesn't seem that far away. We do something like Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt. If you know that reference, then you know. All right, how about we get started on this second story? Oh, all right. Actually, I'm going to wait for this police siren to pass by. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's pretty loud. All right, he's gone. All right, here we go. Our second story of the day. Cat and mouse in partnership. Need my clicker. Start over. Oh, that was loud. I'm sorry. So if you don't know, a lot of times in vocal booths, they've got a couple different things where they call the clap, which is exactly what it sounds like, where you clap your hands. Some people snap their fingers if they can snap really well. I cannot, so I do not. Or they do what's called the click, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is a toy dog, or it's a dog clicker or an animal training clicker. But what you do is inside the booth, if you have spots in the book or in the story or in your audition, whatever it is you're doing, you can click when it's either like, oh, I need to fix that spot, or I need to come back and repair that, or where you're trying to line up your audio with a video, so whatever the different reason is. Like for me, I do like one click, means that something's bad, or I pronounce something wrong, or whatever. I have to come back to that spot, and then I'll repeat it. I'll do it correctly, so then I'll know to edit. If I do more than one click, like 3 clicks, if I do 2 clicks, it means a whole paragraph is bad, a sentence is bad, and I got to fix it. I got to prepare the next sentence is going to be correct and fix it. If I do 3 clicks, it's because I'm ending it and I've moved on to something else. So it's a break in projects at that point. Not that you all wanted to know that, but there's some insider information to the voice acting world, voice boothing world, whatever. All right, let's actually get started with this next story. I'm going to stop stalling, because now I'm stalling. And then there's all sorts of other clicks and stuff like that for different things that I use, because I like the clicker. It's very easy to pronounce. It's very pronounced in the recordings. All right, back to the story. Cat and mouse in partnership. A certain cat had made the acquaintance of a mouse, and had said so much to her about the great love and friendship she felt for her, that at length the mouse agreed that they should live and keep a house together. But we must make a provision for winter. Oh, actually, let's fix that one. Because it's supposed to be another female voice. All right. Let's redo that. Cat and mouse in partnership. A certain cat had made the acquaintance of a mouse, and had said so much to her about the great love and friendship she felt for her, that at length the mouse agreed that they should live and keep a house together. But we must make provisions for winter, or else we shall suffer from hunger, said the cat. And you, little mouse, cannot venture everywhere, or you will be caught in a trap some day. The good advice was followed, and a pot of fat was brought, but they did not know where to put it. At length, after much consideration, the cat said, I know no place where it would be better stored up than in the church, for no one dares take anything away from there. We will set it beneath the altar, and not touch it until we are really in need of it. So the pot was placed in safety. But it was not long before the cat had a great yearning for it, and said to the mouse, "I want to tell you something, little mouse. My cousin has brought a little son into the world and has asked me to be godmother. He is white with brown spots, and I am to hold him over the font at the christening. Let me go out today, and will look after the house by yourself."
"Yes, yes," answered the mouse. "By all means, go. And if you get anything very good, think of me. I should like a drop of sweet red christening wine, too."
All this, however, was untrue. The cat had no cousin, and had not been asked to be a godmother. She went straight to the church, stole to the pot of fat, began to lick at it, and licked the top of the fat off. Then she took a walk upon the roofs of the town, looked out for opportunities, and then stretched herself in the sun, and licked her lips whenever she thought of the pot of fat. And not until it was evening did she return home.
"Well, here you are again," said the mouse. "No doubt you have had a merry day."
"All went well off," answered the cat.
"What name did they give the child?"
"Top off," said the cat, quite coolly.
"Top off?"
cried the mouse.
"That is a very odd and uncommon name. Is it a usual one in your family? What does it signify?"
The cat said, "It is no worse than crumb stealer, as your godchildren are called." Before long, the cat was seized by another fit of longing. She said to the mouse, "You must do me a favor, and once more manage the house for a day alone. I am again asked to be godmother, and as the child has a white ring around its neck, I cannot refuse." The good mouse consented, but the cat crept behind the town walls to the church and devoured half the pot of fat. "Nothing ever seems so good as what one keeps to oneself," she said, and was quite satisfied with her day's work. When she went home, the mouse inquired,
"And what was the child christened?"
"Half done," answered the cat.
"Half done? What are you saying? I never heard the name in my life. I'll wager anything it is not in the calendar."
The cat's mouth soon began to water for some more licking. "All good things go in threes," she said. "I am asked again to godmother. The child is quite black, only has white paws, but with that exception, it has not a single white hair on its body. This only happens once every few years. You will let me go, won't you?"
"Top off? Half done?"
answered the mouse.
"They are such odd names. They make one very thoughtful."
"You sit at home," said the cat. "In your dark gray fur coat and long tail, and are filled with fancies. That's because you do not go out in the daytime." During the cat's absence, the mouse cleaned the house and put it in order, but the greedy cat entirely emptied the pot of fat. When everything is eaten up, one has some peace, said she to herself, and well filled and fat, she did not return home till night. The mouse at once asked what name had been given to the third child. It will not please you more than the others, said the cat. He's called All Gone.
All gone?
Cried the mouse.
That is the most suspicious name of all. I've never seen it in print. All gone? What can that mean?
And she shook her head, curled herself up, and lay down to sleep. From this time forth, no one invited the cat to be godmother. But when the winter had come and there was no longer anything to be found outside, the mouse thought of their provision and said,
Come, cat, we will go to our pot of fat, which we have stored up for ourselves. We shall enjoy it.
Yes, answered the cat. You will enjoy it as much as you would enjoy sticking that dainty tongue of yours out the window. They set out on their way, but when they arrived, the pot of fat certainly was still in its place, but it was empty.
Alas,
said the mouse.
Now I see what has happened. Now it comes to light. You are true friend. You have devoured all when you were standing godmother. First top off, then half done, then...
Will you hold your tongue? Cried the cat. One word more and I will eat you.
All gone,
was already on the poor mouse's lips. Scarcely had she spoken it before the cat sprang on her, seized her, and swallowed her down. Verily, that is the way of the world. The end. Oh, hi, Buster. Welcome. Aw, thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Thank you, Uno. I don't think today I'm going to try and do a third one. Ooh. Ooh. What'd you guys think of that story? Sure. Good girl. Oh, thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Not gonna lie, that story had a couple tongue-twisting parts in it, but some of that may have just been from trying to jump from one character voice to another and narration at the same time, mixed with a little bit of awkward story written story. It's very interesting when you dive into literacy and when they go through and translate stories, how different it's organized. want to stay and I'll chill for a little bit. If you guys want to chit chat, have some questions, and then I'm going to log off. And then if you want to hang out, I will be live with the question of the day in about 45 minutes. No, it's not a snack. It's a cough drop. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Fallen Angel, for liking the live. I find that I actually use a lot of cough drops during the day, especially when I do character auditions or difficult character voices or anything like that when doing a book or story. It's nice to have a little bit of a soothing in between. Help soothe the throat. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. But you know what? I find that it helps me. That's what it is. What an awful cat. She's very mean to her friend. But that's probably going to be it for story time today. But hello, Yuma. I'm doing well. How about yourself? But I am looking at doing, so Friday we have another scheduled story time. So I hope you guys will come check that out. I'm trying to do something a little bit different though. So Friday, my goal is to do a live story time, but it's going to be a story adventure game or a what do they call those? A novel adventure game with you. And you as an audience are going to help determine the course of the story as we move forward. But the other challenge for me is going to be trying to do the character voices of the characters as we go through the story with the dialogue. That's the plan. I've been having a little bit of a technical issue with getting a video game to work simultaneously with all my stuff. Anyways, I'm working it out. I got some people helping me. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. So I do hope that Friday you guys will come check it out. But with that said, I'm going to end this now. Storytime with Phaze for today is over. And if you would like, I will be live at my normal time here in about 50 minutes, with my fursuit. And I look forward to chit-chatting with you guys with the question of the day. Thank you again for logging on. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.